This right here is the best Drum VST plugin for metal music. At least it's become my favorite very quickly. This is the ML Drums Modular Drum Kit, and it sounds like this. Today I'm going to go over why this is my go-to drum kit and why it'll continue to be my go-to drum kit for metal, djent, thall, any heavy genre in the future. There are many reasons why I love this drum kit, and there's only one thing that I think they could improve. So reason number one why I feel like this is the best drum kit is because it's modular. So basically what that means is ML Sound Labs has already come out with 4 different expansions, and every time there's an expansion there will either be a full added drum kit or there will be more cymbals or more snares and shells. The recent one, the Yamz, has quickly become my favorite. Almost all of the cymbals are from the newest Yamz expansion. You can see that's the only one basically that isn't from the Yamz. You see the Yamz there? There's so many, because they sound really good. So let me just go through all the sounds that I have in this current kit. So right here, we got our left China, which is I believe from the Essentials. We have our left Crash, which is from the Yamz, the newest one. Hi-hats, also from Yamz. Splash, from the Essentials, I believe. That Splash is from the Yamz. That one's from Meld. We have our Bell. The Dark Yamz Crash, I really like that one nowadays. I actually really like this Crash. This is honestly, this one from the Yamz is my favorite Crash from any drum profile or drum plugin I've ever used. Miko killed it on this one. It's so good. This is my China. I really like the Holy one. I believe it's from the Essentials as well. And then we have the Yamz. And then this one from the Yamz as well. And then for the kit that I have curated here, you can see all of these are also from the Yamz. Like honestly, that newest expansion, if you're only going to get one, I would suggest getting the Yamz one because for me at least, almost my entire kit is the Yamz. I love it. So let's start with the kick. I love it. What's really cool about this one, it's a Yamz. Instead of going through different variations of like mics and stuff like that, they went through and added different padding. The power muffler is really cool. The pillow is really cool. I love them. I really like the Mads. I've kind of created a sound and I've mixed it already using plugins outside of this. And then for the snare, this is my new favorite snare. Listen to that. It's crazy. It's so high. I'll actually play the riff and then we'll see what each snare sounds like within it. That's cool. Crazy. There you go. That might be my favorite snare ever. I love that one. We have so many options just from the Yamz. We have a lot of snares mostly, and then everything else is just honestly kick-ass. Like the tom, the high one, not exactly where it's from, which expansion it's from. I don't often use this one to be honest, but everything else is from the Yamz. I love this one. It's insane. There's also a free version, so if you're in a bind and you need a drum kit that actually sounds pretty real and pretty sweet, start with that one and then you can work your way up to buying each expansion. They're all only like $44 American, which is half the price of every other brand that I know of that's doing these drum VSTs. In my opinion, the ML Drums has not only the best sounding kit, but to me, it's the best bang for buck by far. What some people complain about with other drum VSTs is that there's not enough dynamics and you can tell like it sounds only like they sampled about like 10 snare hits. This one you can tell it's really dynamic and I'm crushing my snare. Like I'm compressing it and then I use Radiator to squash it. Tell me those aren't dynamic, and I am squashing the drums to get them to sound that ripping in the mix. For those of you who don't know, I also mix and record bands. For me, when I'm recording, drums are by far my favorite instrument to record because they're so motivating and they just sound sweet, and I love setting up the room mic especially. The room mic really glues the kit together as well as the overheads, and luckily for us, the ML room mic is amazing. This is what it sounds like on its own. So not only do we have some of the best drum sounds, but we also have some really good processing under the hood. So as you can see, we have a full EQ. I'm going pretty ham on the snare to really get the crack out of it, pretty ham on the toms. The EQ on the high end, I really like it. They just do a great job. Not only that, we have our compressor here. I'm not really doing anything compression wise because I'm doing it outside of ML, but it's kick-ass. And then also we have our saturation. Our saturation I have on every track because I honestly don't know what they're doing under the hood. Saturation's amazing. And then as you can see, we can easily blend whatever drums we want into our room mic. So let's say we don't want any cymbals. Or we don't want any kick. But I want them because they sound great. So the processing is really cool. I usually in tandem use the processing inboard as well as outside of the plugin. If you don't know how to send out multi-tracks, let's say for instance, I'll make a new track here. And let's say I want this to be my kick. I will just make sure that my input is coming from the ML Sound Labs. And then I will choose post mixer kick drum. And then I make sure that in is selected. And now I have my kick drum. Super easy. Like I was mentioning earlier, the only one thing that I think this plugin could do better is that the toms are only able to be sent to one output. So for instance, with like Get Good Drums or something like that, you can have multiple outputs that you choose yourself because that's the way Kontakt works, but Kontakt is also super annoying. The only thing that I wish is that you could have like two different groups, like one group for like say your toms on the left, one group for your toms on the right kind of thing. I would like that, but it's not necessary because honestly, it sounds amazing. And these toms pop. They sound great as they are. I like it. As a complete side note, and it has really nothing to do with the plugin itself, as a company, I'm a huge fan of ML Sound Labs. For those of you who don't know, I did that contest on my channel a while ago. If you haven't seen it, check out this video where I program drums for everybody's riff. I was telling ML that I was having a tough time choosing a top 3, so they actually mentioned, why don't we just add 2 extra prizes? Like, they didn't have to do that. It's super cool when a company's just like, hey, let's help 2 extra people. Like, I appreciate that. And I think it goes a long way to show how cool the company itself is. So if I was only to buy one expansion, I would suggest the Yamz because my entire new kit is the Yamz. It's, to me, amazing. If anybody's interested, I'll basically find a way to export this preset and I'll make it available in a link down below. If I forget, somebody just remind me. But yeah, I'll just make a preset so that you have my whole thing. The only thing you won't have is what I do when I'm mixing drums. So if you want to learn how to mix these drums and how to get the best out of your program drums, check out this video right here. It's going to be a full band mix, but I really go into detail about what I do with drums at the beginning. I'm very curious which drum VSTs all of you are using, so let me know down below. Curious if you'll check this out. I highly suggest it. Can't suggest it enough. If you like this video at all, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. See ya.